So good day to everyone. Okay, as I'm saying this good day because I don't know you are viewing this video or day or night. I don't know that. So basically, I given the last video on the terms which are frequently used in commerce, starting from assets, liability, and all that. Today I'm this is just a continuation of last video. Now today I'm talking about receipts. Now receipts is the amount which we get by selling our goods, finished goods, even fixed assets. Okay, fixed assets when sold when there is no use to us, or those difficult times when we need sold those fixed assets to get some kind of income. So basically we can say that receipts are of two kinds. One is of capital nature and the one is of revenue nature. The revenue nature, what we usually get, we get it from our day-to-day business. The money which we get our day-to-day our business. Capital, when we sell our some kind of fixed asset. Okay, now when you sell a fixed asset like machinery or building or land, is this kind of, when we sell these things, is usually mentioned in the balance sheet. But this kind of when you get revenue receipts, it is basically depicted in profit and loss account on the credit side. The next term is your expenditure, or basically expenses. Expenses, what the company usually spends in our day-to-day business, usually to get kinds of revenue and all this expenses. Expenses is basically of two kinds. One is prepaid. Prepaid expenses means before these expenses ever been incurred, okay, we pay the amount. For example, tax. Tax we usually give advance tax to tax department. If we don't give that, okay, now maybe our condition is something like maybe a CCD. Okay, if we don't pay advance tax. Okay, so we have to pay them some money to our expenses, prepaid. For example, insurance. Insurance is basically prepaid. Okay, so these are, even though after not before the due has been happened. Okay, before the due date of the expenses been incurred, we usually pay those expenses in future, at the present. Outstanding expenses, just those expenses even after the due date, or even though the time is finished to pay these expenses, we usually pay this after the time period has been finished, and this is called outstanding expenses. Now prepaid expenses is basically mentioned in our PL account as well in balance sheet. Okay. Now in the prepaid expenses is basically our asset, and outstanding expenses our liability. Then comes the word income. Okay, income is the profit is basically the profit, and is a revenue. It's a revenue less revenue less expenses. Okay, it means income. So next is a loss. Loss is any kind of, in a vague language we can say the loss is anything which incurred, which doesn't happen in a day-to-day business. Doesn't happen like that. So the loss of inventories during fire. So it's a loss. Okay, and which usually is a loss of, for example, there's going to be loss in the sale of fixed asset. So suppose due to some bad some things happened, so we have to sell our fixed assets. Loss been occurred, fire, the fire, during fire we lost most of our inventories. It's got a loss. Then come our purchases. Purchases usually we in day-to-day business we do our purchases in order to we make these purchases for our raw materials, especially for raw materials, so that we can process it and make it our finished goods. Okay, to show that we can make our finished goods. So for that we have to purchase it. It's not an asset, but it's more like an expense. Most of people think that purchase an asset. They are where they are going it wrong. Basically, purchase an expense, not an asset. So when do is a purchase, sometimes we don't find this purchase to our standards, and we have to return it. It's called purchase returns or return outwards. Next year, sales return. Sometimes, next is sales. When we usually after processing the goods, we make it into finished goods and we sell into the market to get revenue. Okay, to get revenue. Usually this sales of two kinds. One is cash and is credit. When the cash sales is there, okay, usually we show the the basic two characteristics comes into our picture and also in our accounting books. Sales when is got in cash sales, the character is called cash. It's called cash, not the creditor's name or somebody. So one who is selling this goods to us, one who is buying good from us, this name is not mentioned in our accounting books. Okay, it's not mentioned in our accounting. So basically, the two characteristics comes out is sales and is cash. But when this goods is sold in credit, it's called credit sales. The creditor names, the debtor names comes out. The debtor who has brought the good from us, debtor, as well as the sales. The account also comes as also sales. Now, sometimes this also, as I told earlier, that even though we return some of our goods which we have purchased earlier, down as purchase, okay, purchase, we sometimes find to do not to our standards, and we sometimes return it back. So in the same way, our debtors, our customers may not also find our goods to their standards, and they may also return back to us. So when they return when they return things back to us, it's called sales return or return inwards. Another term which come across us, okay, revenue from operations. So basically, the revenue operations you will not find usually in our usually you will find in company balance sheet, okay, or PL. So basically, so this revenue, these are from day to day. Whatever revenue got from our day-to-day business, usually from a day-to-day, not from other sources, but revenue from operations. So from our operating activity, suppose I am taking an example for you. Suppose the trading company is there. So it's an automobile company. Okay. Usually what he do? He buys raw materials such as steel for his body of the car and engine from other parts and assemble. Sometimes basically automobiles you can see companies, they assemble they assemble this of car and all, they assemble it and sell and make it for finished products and sell into the market, or otherwise they come to the car showroom. Okay, now whatever the income they usually earn by selling this car is called revenue from operations. Now usually what happens when this companies makes a good kind of profit, okay, they think that other ways to invest their money, some other business also. For example, you can see the Reliance Industries may invest some of its money in other companies, maybe HPCL, Hindustan HPCL or Indian Oil. They can invest in money in there also. They can invest there also. So basically, why to do this kind of investment they do in other companies? Basically, they do this kind of investment in other companies so that, suppose now they have been good business, but it may happen, they may have to face some bad days. What is my bad days? They cannot get even their daily expenses. Okay, so in order to meet their daily expenses, during the bad days, okay, now during bad days they cannot even meet the daily expenses. So what they do? They usually sell their assets in other companies to meet their day-to-day expenses. So but somehow these are called not from the revenue from operations. This is called revenue from other sources, which is not a part of your mainstream operations. Next comes the goods. What does mean good? It's called, in other words, it's called inventory. Inventory, what it means, stock has been lying in the company. Okay, it may or may not include your work in progress. Okay, you would ask me, so what do you mean a work in progress mean? Basically, a good is, so as I told you earlier, what these companies usually do? Usually they buy the raw materials from from suppliers. Okay, they buy usually for goods from any suppliers, and what do? They make it into the finished products. But in between that, in between that, this is a work in progress. This means that when this the raw materials, when it getting into process of being a finished goods, it goes in between. That is called work in progress. You may be not you're not aware of that, but in your cost accountancy, if you read in +3, you may be aware of it. You're going to be aware of it. Okay. So this even goes in the term of the goods. Okay. Inventories. Stop. Okay. So the inventories, we started with two types. So basically, one is opening stock and is a closing stock. Usually, the beginning of the accounting year usually is called opening stock. Okay. Now, what do you mean opening stocks mean? Opening stocks mean when the beginning of the usual mention of trading account. Okay. Now, whatever the closing stock at the last previous year. Okay. Now it becomes our opening stock of this accounting period. Okay, so this means opening stock. Okay, now if there is opening stock, there has to be closing stock also. Otherwise, so there has to be closing. So usually we mention the opening stock on the debit side and the closing stock on the credit side. Usually this kind of closing stock has to be there, because this closing stock is mentioned in the balance sheet on the asset side. Now this becomes asset, and we have other terms, stock or inventory of goods. Now there's other things like inventory of raw materials, work in progress, as I told you. These are all the things, even though whose things are not been sold yet they have been called inventories. Okay. Now next term is trade receivable. Trade receivable is a comprehensive term. When I spell the word comprehensive, it doesn't make a single term. There are two terms being encompassed with the trade receivables. Now, what is these two terms are? Trade receivables. Trade receivable is the sum total of debtor and bills receivable. Okay. So basically, when I tell you the term debtor, who the debtor is? Debtor is the customer. Okay, who's the customer who buys the things from us either in the credit or in cash. Okay. Now when he buys, so basically he buys in credit. Basically he buys in our credit more or less in cash. Okay. So even though the debtor for us is an asset, because today or tomorrow he is going to pay us our money back. Okay, so basically, and if somehow we have some bill to receive from him, okay, now somehow in the next 2 to 3 chapters I will teach you about bill of exchange. Okay, the bills receivable. So basically this means bill who we can receive. Okay, now suppose the person who has taken credit cannot pay it now. So what he will do? He will sign a bill and give it to us. Even though you can know what's the meaning. Check also mean. Okay, check is there, promissory note is there, so many bill of exchange is there. So basically what happens, they sign this promissory note and give it to us, so that this basically is a promise which they're going to fulfill in future. Okay, so basically So basically they are going to give us future. So basically these are our promissory, and for us is bills receivable. It's a promise to which they will pay us the money in the future. Next the term is trade payables. It's again a term like trade receivable. It's again term is a comprehensive term. But what it encompasses? It encompasses the creditors as well as bills payable. Now, suppose there are some persons who take the things from us on credit. Though it's quite possible that we also may be taking things from others on credit. Okay, basically they are suppliers of the raw materials, and company owes a certain amount. Okay, this company has to give some amount to these creditors. Okay, maybe in future or at present, doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter, we'll give them money into the present or future, doesn't matter. So next term is the bills payable. Now this, for example, now we are getting check or promissory note from the debtors. Now it is quite possible that we might issue the check or promissory to other person also, so that we can pay back their money in the future, any future date or time. So next is your discount. Discount is basically, as we know, the reduction of a price of any good or product. We must be aware of that. Amazon, Flipkart, they give super discount. Okay, it is quite lucrative to look at that. Oh God, the mobile is 40% off. We should buy it now. Okay, it's festival, Amazon, Deepavali offer, and New Year offer. There are many kinds of offer you can find on Flipkart as well as Amazon. Very good thing. I'm nothing against them. I'm nothing against them. They're very good thing. But basically, why we give this kind of discount? Why the companies give this kind of discount? And when we avail it, okay, basically there's a quite great conflict between brick and mortar and online shops, and there's a conflict is always there. But thing is not that. Things with lies with the thing discount. Whenever I'm not so sexist over here also. I'm being sexist also. But the girls are more, they will, when you go to the purchase of dress, they will, how much discount is being offered on the product or the good? How much discount is offered? When they enter the shop, first thing they're going to ask, sir, how much discount are you going to offer upon this dress or this sari? Okay, then I'm going to buy it. And sometimes, the shopkeepers will know, so madam, I will give 30%, 40% discount. And now, this, even male like also, they have a good bargaining with these shopkeepers. Okay, for the discount only. For the discount purpose, they will go to any extent they will want to go. Okay. Discount. Okay. Now, when we receive this discount reduction of prices on that, when we receive the discount, it's an income or revenue for us. It's a revenue received for when we discount. We usually get in the form of trade discount or cash discount. Or when we allow this, it becomes expense for us. And usually is mentioned in the debit side of the PL account. And when we get discount, okay, like the ladies, bargaining and all this, when we get it, it becomes on the credit side, on the PL account. Bad debts, okay. So it's most fearful thing ever comes to a mind of a company. When I look at a company, it's also fearful of what? Bad debts. Usually, what happens? Even though we are having monopoly company, for many years, the petroleum companies and airlines company was doing monopoly in their respective fields. But now the things have been broken up. Now they are no more holding monopoly on it, thanks to Reliance company. Okay. However, even during those periods also, they used to give things, their goods or products on credit. And what this person usually do? These credit debtors, they usually don't pay off the money. When they don't able to pay the money, usually it's tantamounts to bad debts. When the debtors couldn't able to pay their money. And usually even little business houses, they are calling for asking for the money. Sir, when are you going to pay this? Or madam, when are you going to pay up this money? So usually it ends up with the bad debts. Okay. So now next term is balance sheet. Balance sheet is in a company. Usually you can see when you enter the office of a company, you will find the balance sheet, being a framed in a wall of the company. Okay, showing the balance sheet. We have done this much of earning. We have done this much of earning. This much income has been done. So basically, the balance sheet. What do you think? It should be like a frame like this? Basically, no. So balance sheet usually shows that what is the financial position of the company, how much liability he is holding, how much he's incurred, how much liability is incurred, how many assets he is holding. So basically it shows the financial position of the company in the commerce world. Book of accounts. So as I told you earlier, there are many kinds of accounts. For example, sales account. There are many kinds of who shows that what kind of transaction has been done in the name, in the term of accounts is been done. So next term is credit. The other term is depreciation. Basically, when we buy certain fixed asset, sometimes after using this for some, is there a reduction in the price? So why the fixed asset? Why there be reduction in price? I'm using the asset as we know that when suppose I will give an example, machinery. Okay, now let the cost of this machinery be 50,000 rupees. Okay, and we know that every asset, fixed asset has a life term. And maybe take this term has that this particular machine take is 10 years. So as I told you earlier, the cost of the machine is 50,000 and lifetime life period of that machine is 10 years. So what do you mean by this? That every year there could be depreciation of 5,000 rupees. Okay, now why this depreciation is all about? Basically we can say this, the depreciation is the value, the wear and tear of a fixed asset. Entity means is an economic unit which performs the economic activities, like Reliance Industries. So any company, any entity, any firm which have certain economic operation to be performed is called entity. So another term is called insolvent. When a person cannot able to pay his debts or cannot meet his day-to-day expenses, it's called insolvency. Proprietor is one who, everything is about proprietor. I'm not talking about joint stock company here. Let's come to small business or small time business, whether there's a proprietor like this. When you go to a little shop, okay, you're going to find a proprietor over there. Who still be sitting on the galla and making these transactions. So basically, he is one who is been invest in the business and bears all the risk. Okay, associated with the business, one who takes the invest in the money. Basically, we can say that this proprietor is the creditor to the company. Basically, I told you earlier, there's a creditor and there's a proprietor. So, what is the difference between creditor and a proprietor? Proprietor, he happens to gives the internal liability to the company, whereas the creditor gives the external liability to the company. Now, what the creditor gets? Creditor usually gets interest, and what the proprietor gets? Profit. So this proprietor has taken all the risk to run to meet the day-to-day business, and he has good brain. So we have to, the next thing is called solvent. So basically solvent is a person who's in position to meet his day-to-day expenses and to give and to pay off his debts. So next term is financial statements. Now whatever records are there in company, for example, trade account, profit loss account, balance sheet, at the end of the accounting process. So I told you that next class I will tell you that what is the going concern all about. So at the end of the year, so we have to prepare all these accounts so that we can compare it in some with other companies. Or suppose I want to know that, so suppose take it for example, this financial year I had a profit of 50,000 rupees, and next year I'm going to have I'm going to have a profit of 1,50,000. So if I don't calculate all these things, what is my revenue, what is my expenses, then how could I make it what could my profit is in this accounting period is. So basically for this, for knowing what is my expenses, what is my revenue, okay, at a regular basis, whenever I want to, okay. So for that, I have to prepare certain statements or final accounts. The statements which is known as trading account, profit loss and balance sheet. And if it is somehow a joint stock company, so you can know the cash flow statement. It's basically known as a cash flow, through which the joint stock company usually attract investors from the capital market.